somehow got invited to speak today because I fired off a letter a couple of weeks ago to Senator Morse and any other lawmakers that I thought would sit down and listen. I haven't received a single response back from any of them yet. So here I am today. Thank you for that, kind of teeing up that foundation, Duncan. I will say that small business, when we run the gamut, the political gamut, left to right and everything in between. And I got to tell you that we are pretty much, unanimous in opposition to this. So as Duncan said, I'm a software entrepreneur. I run a company upstairs in the incubator called SmartTracks. And what SmartTracks does is it provides services, marketing services, and web-delivered software to help our customers and clients attract their prospects and convert their prospects to customers. Very important at all times, but particularly now. So I want to help people understand, like Duncan was saying, the day in the life of an entrepreneur, but particularly SmartTracks. Basically, 1192 is a double whammy for us. Because first and foremost, every employee that we have uses downloaded software in some form or capacity to just organize and do our routine business. I can see a lot of the CEOs from the incubator here, same story. We all tell the same story. So we run our businesses that way, and for those of us that actually sell software, we want to preserve the opportunity to be able to deliver our software by download. And this legislation basically would place a tax on anybody that downloads our software. We happen to also deliver it up with software as a service, over the web as a service, but we want to preserve the opportunity to be able to have customers download our software. And right now, if they download our software, ka-ching, right? And most of you in this room know that we compete nationally. So I have to basically present a case to my customers that says, I can present you with the best value, and reduce your total cost of ownership. This bill speaks specifically to increasing the total cost of ownership of software, which is a metric that almost every responsible company in good stewardship of their dollars looks at when they acquire software. So, that's the double whammy. I wish you could have been a fly on the wall of our staff meeting. We meet every Wednesday at 10 o'clock, so just an hour or so ago we concluded the staff meeting. And this is the way staff meetings across this country are going right now for small businesses. We have 3 or 4 items that we cover every week, and I wish I could tell you that we were dealing in lofty, strategic, long-range planning, but we're not, right, David? We're not. Right, Greg? We're not. What we're dealing with every single week right now are about 3 or 4 things, and all of them relate to cash flow and cash preservation. Everybody's nodding their heads back here. Okay, so the 3 items are, number 1, how are our customers? Are they happy? How quickly can we generate the revenue? How quickly can we accelerate activity? Are they happy? Will they continue to write checks to us? Will they continue to grow their business? That's the number 1 priority. Are we delivering it? Are we making them happy? Are we doing it as profitably as we can? The number 2 thing is we check our sales pipeline and we say, who's ready to onboard? And how quickly can we get them on, and how quickly can we get them generating revenue? Then every single week, we have the 3rd agenda item, a sober conversation about how we are going to invest our precious resources that we have. I don't have somebody writing me checks every week to keep the doors open. So we have a considered conversation every week about how we can invest those really precious resources. And we canvass every single week. Jeff Ziegler, my COO over there, he watches this carefully. Every single week we look for ways that we can cut more costs, if it's even possible. Never once today in our staff meeting did we say, how can we raise revenue by increasing our cost to our customers? Not once today did we do that. We recognize that our customers are victims of this recession just like we are. And by the way, if we did that, they would go to any of the 38 other states where they could get their software without the tax, right? So we're not going to raise prices on our customers, certainly not today. And we want to stay competitive, and we need the lawmakers and people in governance in this state to help us. Again, this isn't a partisan thing for us. This is the life that we live every day. These are the problems that we face every single day. My parents, and probably your parents too, used to say, Laura, do not kill the goose that lays the golden egg, all right? Small business is the goose, right? We lay the golden eggs, and they take the form of new jobs. They take the form of payroll tax. They take the form of income tax. They take the form of our employees going out and spending and paying sales tax. You know, I say, isn't that enough? Isn't that enough? I'm responsible, and Jeff's responsible, and all these other CEOs in here are responsible every week for balancing our budget. So, you know, we say enough is enough here. I mean, this is simple math. And I was up on the floor of the Senate last week when they were debating this bill. I don't think anybody was actually listening to the arguments. We've been trying to, we're tilting at this windmill, but please listen to us. I've been told that it would take a literal miracle, now that this bill is on the governor's desk, for this thing not to pass, for 1192 not to pass. And I need to say to the governor, while you still have this job. And please, please, slow down. Take your time here and do your own due diligence, because I think if the governor does his own due diligence, he will find, like many other executive officers in other states, that this thing is a bad idea. Just one example, Sue Hawk, who is the heads up the Colorado Software Industry Association, shared with me. She said that a few years back, Florida passed very similar legislation, only to rescind it in 6 months for the very reasons that we're talking about today. It killed jobs, and it became an administrative nightmare. I mean, we were sitting in staff wondering, how the heck are they going to actually monitor this and collect, right? It's a bureaucracy that would have to be put in place that is more than, honestly, the minuscule revenue that it hopes to collect. So, other states have recognized that this is a slow train to nowhere. And in terms of killing the golden goose, I wish it were fast and painless. It's not. It's slow and it's painful. So I hope you can hear us. The voices of. I hope the governor hears us. I hope the lawmakers hear us. I know there are some reasonable people. There have been several Democrats that, when they did do their due diligence, they have decided not to support this bill. There's still time. It's not passed into the law. So, I would just like to encourage, everybody that's affected by this, and we're all affected, by the way. We're all affected when every single business, small or large, is affected, and every single citizen is affected when we don't have the right platform to create jobs in a community, and that's what we're looking at today. So, with that, I'd like to introduce candidate Scott McInnis, and like Duncan said, again, the Incubator is a nonpartisan organization. We welcome Scott McInnis, and we welcome every lawmaker, every candidate that's willing to stand up with us and, keep the golden goose alive to fight another day. So, thank you, Scott.